Hey guys, Scott from Edge Financial Services. Hope you're all doing well. Just to give you a bit of a heads up, I'm at Ravens Court Park in next to Hammersfield in East London. We've gone for a bit of a walk down out of the Novotel where we're staying. For a lot of the junior tennis up and coming stars, which is interesting. A lot of them are staying there for the big tournament over here that is kind of the attachment to Wimbledon. But what I've been doing is I've just come from Thailand and we've come across to London as well. What I'm trying to do is a bit of a lettuce guide, a lettuce guide and a snow pea guide, because we've got a theme going on where you have to plan to spend your money at shops where there are discounts or where the prices are lower, where the profits are lower or the margins are lower, or at shops where they can purchase things cheaper and pass those prices on to you. Now what I'm talking about is different countries that you can retire part-time in or full-time in. You may not be able to afford to retire well with the lifestyle that you think you deserve, and you probably do deserve in your own country. So we've been doing a bit of the lettuce gauge, the lettuce guide. And so we went into shopping centre in Pattaya in Thailand, looked at a head of lettuce. It was about $6 Australian by the time we converted it. That wasn't very exciting. Look, they obviously don't have a big hydroponic lettuce market. Couldn't really find snow peas, could find some snap peas. So that was probably on par. Look, but in the last couple of weeks we've been paying between $9 and $12 for lettuce in Australia. And even Kentucky and Hungry Jack's are saying they're going to swap lettuce on your burger for cabbage. So I think we're all becoming slightly part Polish. And next we'll be having sauerkraut on our burger as well, which I don't mind eating, but if it's done because we can't afford to eat lettuce, well, that doesn't bode well for our retirement plans. So we walked there's a shopping centre right near the Hammersfield station, and so Hammersfield reminds me of like North Ryde a little bit. It's got in kind of size in Sydney. It's got a kind of a feel though that's a bit, because of all the buildings and a lot of the walking areas, it kind of reminds me a bit of Melbourne and a bit of Adelaide near the university is kind of what it feels like. So it's nice. It's really nice to get around and everything's a bit clicky. So I went down to one of the little like, I guess a bit like an IGA or a Coles Express is what I would call it, Coles Express. So everything looks nice. It was good brands in there. Everyone around here's kind of got a bit of money, and so we decided to do the lettuce gauge and the snow pea gauge. So the lettuce was 60 pence each, 60 pence. So this is iceberg lettuce. So that's about $1.20 Australian, right? And so this is a rich Western country, and so for some reason, things here in London, lettuce is about 5 times as cheap as what we're paying in Australia. So it's ridiculous. So, because if we're paying $9 for lettuce in Australia, it's about 4.5 pounds, 4.5 quid in London terms. So you've got to have to think about this and go, hang on, what is it? What is it in Australia? So obviously there's so many regulations, there's so many layers of tax, and there's so much bull crap that goes on between all the councils and regulations and things, that it isn't profitable to sell lettuces at $1.20 where they can import them probably, or transport them in London and sell them for $1.20. So our government isn't producing the environment where food is going to be at an affordable price to its residents, or at least in the UK they know that's a political issue. It's never been a political issue in Australia, so they haven't bothered to pull their socks up and get it sorted. Maybe they will once people start really getting shitty at the ballot box. Snow peas are about $15 a kilo. So last week in Australia they were $44 a kilo. Yeah, so it was £7.50 for a kilo of snow peas, and that's if you buy them in little 100-gram little sachets and you put 10 of them together. So it's probably like £6 for a kilo of snow peas here, but it's 44 in Australia. So again, look, you can blame all sorts of things. You can blame floods, you can blame drought, you can blame all sorts of stuff. But at the end of the day, governments have a responsibility to make sure that competition in relation to food and trade of food for its own population, its own citizens, is done at a very affordable price, so everyone gets fed. I mean, China at least gets it, we don't get it, all right? So our governments, we should be putting our governments on notice. But I don't think it'll change. I don't think the population of Australia is smart enough and got enough energy to actually vote, or to actually protest in the streets. You could see it from the lockdown. So we're very apathetic, and we're going to suck it up, and our lifestyle is going to go like this. However, if you're coming into retirement, or you are retiring, then you go, this is ridiculous, I can't even buy lettuce and justify it, then you need to think about living half of your life, your retirement life, in a cheaper country. And this is what we're looking for. This is part of it. Part of my journey here, being on a working holiday, is to seek out and understand and try and crack the Da Vinci Code of, if you had a set amount of money every year, if your set income was $50,000 a year, 32,000, 40,000, whatever it is, what sort of lifestyle can you have? And I'm going to try and really quantify it, in Latin America, in Southeast Asia, and I'm over here, only in the UK. I know that this isn't one of those places you're going to be able to afford to retire. Rents are really expensive, everything else is expensive, but it's interesting that lettuces are $1.20 a head at what is an expensive little shop, right near a train station, underground, pretty trendy little grocery store. So anyway, interesting things, guys. We need to have a think about how our governments treat us, rewarding them by re-electing them. So anyway, that's enough from me. Remember, life's a family sport, and give yours an edge. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.